Hey everybody, welcome to MCAT Radio. I'm Scott.
And I'm Neil.
Welcome. It is Monday, March 9th. Everything's fine, nothing's going wrong at all in the world today, but let's distract yourselves with some things that are happening here at MCAT. As always, we do many of our classes from Blender, editing workshops, how to use a camera, how to use our studio space. A lot of great opportunities, especially for people who want to do their own radio show like you're listening to right now on 101.5. And of course, more on MCAT, which is channel 189 and 190 on cable charter spectrum.
Yeah, if you want to learn to 3D model or 3D animate, come on down to MCAT Mondays 6 to 8 or Fridays 4 to 6. I teach a Blender workshop where I will teach you 3D modeling, animation, texturing, and much more.
Yes, and of course, Missoula Public Library also has a bunch of events that happens in perpetuity to many other things that are happening. If you're interested in looking for some tax aid, Coop Room all day today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is doing AARP tax aid for any of you who are 55 and older looking to get some help with the tax aid. Montana tax system has a great thing in place that allows people to get some money knocked out of our tax system if you reach a certain threshold in your age. So you want to look out for that. They're hosting that here in the Cooper Room, which is the 4th floor of the Missoula Public Library. This afternoon, there's also Art with a Purpose, which already happened, but they usually have it in the Family's First Classroom most Mondays at 10:30 a.m. and then Lego Club for any of the kids getting fresh out of school who need that extra time in between 3 to 5 p.m. Lego Club is happening here at the Missoula Public Library. This is one of many of the Lego Clubs. Heck, even our Saturday drop-ins can be considered a quasi-Lego Club. But for older kids who want to basically turn the Legos into live action motion and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. My niece was here last Saturday doing her own stop animation. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah. Oh, she killed it.
She's doing a good job. She's above the curb in learning and also height. It's kind of like an ongoing joke is that she's 11 years old and she's already pushing 6 foot.
She'll be 10 feet by 16.
At that rate of growth, for sure. Could you imagine just doubling your height every year since you were born? You'd essentially be like infinitely tall.
Yeah. Oh, so I just saw on Reddit that apparently the California DOJ, this was posted in the subreddit, is cracking down on massive fraud involving registering expensive cars in other states like Montana.
Wait. So you're telling me that an open secret of buying cars in non-duty-free states like Montana were illegal?
Something like that, I guess.
I guess, but I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, what was the point? Because everyone was doing it.
A lot of it had to do with car registration, too.
Yeah, registration.
Because, registering a supercar is expensive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you pay a lot for a car, you pay a lot for insurance, and you pay a lot for other things.
And as the old adage goes, I'm poor in California, but I'm rich in Montana.
Yes. Whoever said that, Neil? Some really intelligent, handsome, not balding.
I believe it happened in 1906.
Okay. So that's interesting. A lot of things happening with that. Like, I thought the DOJ would be looking the other way this whole entire time.
Well, maybe, I don't know what made them
decide
pick up on it this time.
Yeah, because I always felt like it was like an open secret that everyone just did it and used it. I mean, heck, a lot of people.
Total open secret.
Like one thing is for sure because here at MCAT we like to buy from B&H Photography.
Yeah.
So we get tax exemption because we don't have those kind of duty-free sales tax here in Montana, and the same thing happens for Amazon. So if you get like Amazon package and stuff like that here in Montana, you don't have to pay that extra sales tax.
Yep, that's
right. So we just don't notice it because we've been living here for so long. It's like, oh yeah, we don't have to pay as much.
Yeah. No sales
tax
here.
Will it change someday? Who knows? The closest thing we get to some kind of sales tax is the Tourism Business Improvement District, which taxes, I think it's $2 per hotel stay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they doubled it just last year.
Yeah.
Just to keep up with costs to staff, the TBID. Mm-hmm. So anyways, that's kind of happening there. We also have a bunch of other things happening in Missoula as well. We have a bunch of clips that we want to show you guys as well, featuring the 4 history buffs talking about graphic design of the WPA with Luke Duran. And so without further ado, here's a little taste of that for you guys, for your listeners out there.
So I want to start the journey of how we came to the WPA. Familiar with that?
This was, yeah, good, I see some hands. This was a U.S. Geological Survey sent out by President Grant shortly after the Civil War. And the brilliance of this group is that there were all kinds of people on this team. There was geologists, there was climatologists and meteorologists, there were artists, there were biologists, there were map makers, cartographers, and they all journeyed up. They started in southern Utah and made their way up through Wyoming into southern Montana and ended up in what we now know as Yellowstone country. And along that journey, they were really smart, besides the scientists, to bring like a photographer. So William Henry Jackson, very well-known photographer at the time, was part of this expedition, took some of the very first photographs of Yellowstone National Park. There's another piece from him. Isn't that gorgeous? God, what a great image. There was cartographers, like I mentioned, Henry Wood Elliott, who did some of the very first topographic maps of that area, that region. He was also a watercolorist. Most of his career after the Hayden expedition, he went north to Alaska and did 40 years of research and art and science, mainly on seals, if you will, in the Anchorage area on the coast. But he contributed these beautiful images. That's Yellowstone Lake, way back in 1871. And then many of you will probably be familiar with the great Thomas Moran, a very celebrated artist, fine artist, who painted these wonderful, incredible scenes of Yellowstone.
All right, so there's a little taste of that for you guys. If you're interested in learning a little bit about that old history, for history buffs, he is here at the Missoula Public Library live once a month and usually has it posted on the library's website at missoulapubliclibrary.org. MCAT has the fortunate partnership that is with the library and many other community partners here in town to kind of get the word out on many different things. Even if you don't want us to go out and film your event, you can always request us to put it on our message board. So we just put up words on screen, and essentially people who are watching between programs like this are able to see what kind of upcoming events are happening in Missoula, not just MissoulaEvents.net.
And here at MCAT, you can make your own programs. You could give a lecture in our studio. You could even do a demonstration of some kind.
Of course.
Yeah, any thoughts on that, Scott?
Well, I think the education is severely lacking for the most part because, we teach people how to use the equipment and stuff like that, but educational programming for teaching people is vastly minuscule compared to just being like, a lot of MCAT shoots, and I'm going to say this pretty bluntly, is people talking in front of a slideshow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's 90% of everything. Yeah. I mean, heck, even half of the church services here in town that give us copies have some kind of slideshow as well, incorporated with their own system.
People love their slideshows.
People love showing off slideshows.
It's the best way to synergistically backlog and reintegrate with the hierarchical dynamic structure.
That's a lot of words there. That's a $5 word right there, Neil. I would probably say that I think slideshows are good for people who are talking to not be looked at, and for them to sit down. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely we need to support our the mental health of our lecturers out there.
Hey, normalize not walking around in front of the slideshow.
Right. Oh, that's true. You just see a shadow back and forth. It's like, is this a horror movie? Well, it should be. The Watcher of the Slides. Rated R starts Friday.
It's in theaters now. Starts Friday.
Yes. So how did the auditions go last weekend?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
You get some good turnout?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're I guess we don't need it. We can probably talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, we can give them some free advertising.
Yeah, so there's a movie that's being produced by a short film being produced by your wife's friend or wife's colleague.
My wife is the producer. So she's producing.
Yes, and it's called Good Time Girl.
Yes, and you've got a song about it.
No, I'm not going to sing it because the subject matter is very intense and it's drama thriller.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read the script.
Yeah. The context is definitely one of those kind of like...
I'm pretty sure the name's ironic.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, there's just a lot of things happening in Missoula. Of course, MCT is doing their own Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief musical.
That's right.
So that's happening. That happened last weekend. They're going to probably do it again this weekend. They usually do a 2-week run unless it's a special occurrence. Usually happen during the holidays where they try to do a 3-weekend run.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to check that out, support the MCT. They're another nonprofit here in town that promote. Honestly, it's the best way to make friends for a lot of kids and get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Because it kind of teaches a kid to lie for good.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of Percy Jackson, Scott, how many pieces of pop culture media can you think of that actually has confirmed that one or more characters has ADHD?
Oh. Wow, I have to think about that.
Yeah, think about it for a second.
Yeah, that's...
I can think of Bart Simpson.
Howard Stark.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's eccentric, he's weird.
But confirmed, like, in the text.
Oh, in the text?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson is, like, miles ahead of the competition. So many of the characters are confirmed in the book to have ADHD. Isn't that interesting?
That is pretty interesting because
he wrote it for his son who has ADHD.
Oh, I see.
Yes,
I gotcha.
Yes,
because it's like you see things beyond what you see. I think that could be like another sign it might not be ADHD. If you think about it, because he sees things that people can't see in a magical world.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, they got that, but they also have ADHD.
That's true. Let's not bury the lead.
But in the text, because he wrote it for his son,
yep,
who had ADHD, and very little representation in media.
Nice. That's
outside
cool.
of like, I'm jumping off the walls. Woo! Whoa! A squirrel.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, that's kind of like our show because we're all over the place half a dozen times. We talk about one thing or another, and then we try to rein it in with playing some music and playing some videos and stuff like that. I might actually just throw it to a music right now. Honestly, I have been thinking about this because Gorillaz did perform live for SNL last weekend, so I wanted to.
They have their new album.
And they got their new album. I sent you a couple of clips here and there. They did some traditional animation.
Yeah.
They basically brought back the same kind of stylings of old Disney.
Cell animation.
Cell animation for their and then of course watercolor painting backgrounds and stuff like that. So they did a lot of great stuff with that. Of course, you won't be able to see it. Obviously, because it's a radio program, we're not going to play it on our television companion show.
Imagine with your brain.
With your brain. But of course, we're going to start off with definitely the more famous of the Gorillaz songs, which is "Feel Good," which just as of
is that radio safe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I know it's got an naughty word.
Okay. All right, you ready? Let's play it.
I feel good.
All right. So let's just play that through as well. All right.
Yeah, we don't want to play sirens on the radio.
That's true.
Look out! No.
Right, that's terrible.
He's right behind you.
Look out. Gorillaz. Got some good times there. Let's see. I got a couple other things here and there. They did a study that they were able to trace Neanderthals mating with humans.
Oh, yeah,
It seems primarily it was males that were...
Yes, it seems like female Neanderthals had a harder time carrying hybrid babies.
Okay, so it was very much like, if you think about it in terms of like how tigers and lions match.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Neanderthal women were not, I guess, able to handle the complexities of the human race, which kind of makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One of the people who comes to my workshop sent me this that they made.
Oh, cool.
Let's see, what else do we got here?
Let's see.
Oh yeah, there was a Stand Up for Science protest.
Right, and there was another protest, or
of
no,
Gianforte.
Right, and that was when he was showing up for a what's that called? They were doing something completely different. They were there to show up to do.
He was there for a Turning Point.
Yes. No, was he there for Turning Points?
Yeah, it was a Turning Point.
Okay. I thought he was like I thought it was like a ribbon cutting type of situation. It had nothing to do with him being there for a
Have
purpose.
you read any of Sheehy's response letters to people emailing his office?
Isn't it just copy and paste? Just
yeah, it's just
hyperbole.
it's
Just
like,
all the.
I didn't do it. Was basically it.
Of course. I mean, it is just what it is. It's like, yeah, don't touch people. Like the senator just didn't need to actually go there.
Yeah.
He could have just sat there. Nothing would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to just, and that's the thing about scrutiny is like you're not supposed to, like, that's the highest level of scrutiny comes to the people who are constantly looked at and constantly scrutinized in those positions.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually actively, physically throw somebody out, not to mention it doesn't help the fact that they're a Marine,
Mm-hmm.
it gets into like muddy waters. And that's where he's in. And that's the thing. It is very kooky overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I read this person's opinion?
No.
It's just them saying that First Friday's pretentious.
Oh, okay. I mean, I honestly don't know where they go for that kind of stuff. It's literally just like you're looking at art
Yeah.
and you're drinking
say it's
free wine and hors
overpriced.
d'oeuvres.
I've never paid money for First Friday.
Well, yeah, you just get hors d'oeuvres and wine, and it's like, who cares? Like, overpriced art? Are you looking to, like, if you want a gift card, just go to, like, Rock and Rudy's. Like that's the place where you actually would go to get those kind of, like, knockoff, like, art pieces you can hang up and stuff like
the
that.
prints, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to get, like, people spend hours on art depending upon what it is, and sometimes people reprint.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so a little bit of gorillas for you guys this afternoon. If you guys are interested in going out and about and eating some foods these days, do you have any suggestions, Neil, for anybody interested in food and whatnot? Food.
I was just at Florabella the other night.
Oh, how was
First time I
it?
went there. It was pretty okay.
Okay, I've seen some of
The
the...
portion was a little small for the price. I
Yeah.
think. But
With a name like Florabella, you got that fancy prices,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
usually try to minimize the food.
I hear they do a 2-ticket, 2-entree deal with the Roxy though for $40.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, for like a date night.
Yeah, and sometimes like I noticed that some like fancier tier restaurants have a tendency to be like, oh, you have a bunch of little things. Each thing is separated. Like
Right,
you
right.
get like one thing for $5, another thing for $5, and then it adds
Small
up.
plates.
Small plates added up to a bigger meal, and
Yes, yes.
that's what I see in a lot of places. They're just like, oh, you just build your overall entree because the core dish is and this and that. But regardless, yeah, I mean, Florabella, good choice, honestly. I want to say Bitter Beanery.
Ooh.
Not much of a food place, but if you just want a nice like sugary coffee drink for sure, they're a good place
I'm
for
gonna
it.
go eat bread at Great Harvest.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Great Harvest.
I
Nice
like Great
choice. Yeah, I just finished off their 3-cheese sourdough bread. I always use that to make
Yes.
grilled cheese.
Mm.
I use some of that Irish cheese that also makes butter. So that's always nice to get some like gourmet
Yes.
grilled cheese. I've spoken about this way too many times. Let's move on from this, but yeah.
I love grilled cheese.
I love grilled cheese. So I'm gonna be.
Whoa, Dale Gribble.
I want the grilled cheese. No one's gonna stop me having the grilled cheese. What?
Hey, grilled cheese is a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's kind of kooky. It was like, what is your favorite conspiracy of today's year nowadays?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
I don't pay too much attention to conspiracy because it seems like more and more conspiracies like there's some reality to some of them, but
60 Minutes just did a piece on Havana Syndrome.
oh, Havana Syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's every 5 years. There's always some kind of major
Right.
piece on it, and it's like, what is that? It's like those are cicadas.
Yeah. And, my favorite is one that at least has some real world verification.
Yeah.
And that's MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, nice, not bad.
Yeah.
And then there's the prisoner studies.
Oh, yeah.
That's not much of a conspiracy theory, but it was something that bred a lot of wild ideas
Oh, I
from
forget
there.
the name of the guy who ran this experiment, but there was a guy who got a bunch of people on a boat, like 5 or 6 people on a boat
Yeah.
in the Atlantic. And he was just like, he hypothesized that eventually the social hierarchy would would crumble and they'd be at each other's throats, and they're just like hanging out, grilling on this boat, just hanging out on the ocean, and he's just writing in his journal like, any day now. And they're like, that guy's weird.
So are you listening to this and you want to share your conspiracy theories? Do your own show with the 101.5 KFGM, KFGM1015.org. For more information, you can listen to it live on the internet and beyond. And we're speaking of other things happening, like more reports on Neanderthals. I don't know if you read this on Associated Press. We were talking a little bit about it during the break. The whole idea is that, in terms of mating with humans and crossbreeding and stuff like that, there's some people who have Neanderthal DNA. That's a guarantee.
Represent,
yo. So a big part of that is that when they did the study, the best way to basically trace lineages and things is the Y chromosome, which is normally carried by the male. And for this part, this is just how science has created and find ways to create the pathways. And so when they looked at the ancestry blood and everything like that, they found that human women, the human side of the Homo sapiens, that side of the spectrum of the human genome, they're the ones that were able to breed with the Neanderthal men. But when it came to the Neanderthal women, they determined that they could not successfully breed with the men.
Or at least they could carry less often viable young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so this is all the science, because all the other cultural differences and all this stuff like that, we don't know if it was one thing or another, because especially back in those day and era, a lot of exactly. You're probably thinking about it out loud right now. I don't want to say
the Neolithic was a horrific time.
Exactly. Heck, even look at the Viking era too. It's just going around spreading genes. Those are the thing. It happens.
Yep.
When populations collide, there's always going to be some exchange of DNA.
Just like the show Primal.
Yes, exactly. That's a good segue, because he's in a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
And the end of season 2 basically led to him having a kid with this one lady.
Now he's back.
Now he's back from the dead in season 3.
Primal.
Yep. Season 3 was basically a big spoiler. If you're like, yeah, he's not quite dead, so he's kind of like a zombie man. Undead, just wandering, just.
Yeah. You should watch the new episode. It's you're gonna watch and be like, oh, okay.
So essentially, how it started was just mindless zombie, just trying to survive, trying to figure out who he is. Next part is he found where he belongs, but then the place where he belongs rejects him. Now
he's a zombie.
He's a zombie, and the only thing he knows how to do is fight well. And so now he's basically king of a tribe of violent people who all they do is fight gladiatorial rings.
Pit.
It's a fight pit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lot of interesting things are moving in this direction. And what I liked about Gendy's first 2 seasons was very much single episode, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You have your whole arc, you have your whole story. This one's everything's leading to something.
Yeah, and he's really built to that pretty well, because season 1's so episodic.
Yeah, I'm definitely becoming more of that grumpy old man of 90s kids TVs and all stuff like that, when you would have shows which would introduce a problem and they would solve it. Or
you just sent me a bunch of clips from The Weekenders.
Yes, The Weekenders,
which I never watched.
It was such a weird kind of kooky show. It was a Disney ABC morning show.
Right.
Essentially, they would start with a Friday that would introduce the problem. They're going to go do something over the weekend, and then the Saturday, the problem would escalate beyond repair, and then Sunday they would be like, "My bad."
Right. Is The Weekenders? Does that one have the and your chicken was dry?
No, that's Fillmore.
That's Fillmore.
Fillmore is one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah.
He had the voice of Mandy as his goth co-pilot. Yeah, she was. She's basically like Wednesday.
Yeah, and he's just like, what if we did Detective Noir, but it was Encyclopedia Brown?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, Fillmore was definitely one of those great shows, and he had a shaved head, little a middle school boy with a shaved head and glasses where you couldn't see his eyes. It was just those kind of it was very anime style in that way. It's you don't have to draw the eyes if you draw the glasses thick.
Yeah. See, I grew up with The Replacements for the Saturday morning cartoon, where the lesson was. Well, the lesson was always be thankful for what you've got.
Yes.
But what they do is they'd always just replace somebody in their lives. It's kind of messed up. It's just hey, you want us to disappear your teacher?
Hey, trust me, I watched all the spin-off cartoons from all those movies that came out. There was a cartoon that was spun off of what's that called? Jumanji.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that one. They also had Godzilla, the 1999 version had a cartoon. They also
Men in Black.
They had here's a really obscure show for you guys who don't know this, but Evolution was a movie that came out in the 90s, and it was David Duchovny, Orlando Jones, a lot of different characters in this movie. The guy who played Stifler was in it randomly. He was like a young up-and-coming actor still at that time, but the movie was called Evolution. It was all the same people who made Ghostbusters. They wanted this to be like the next Ghostbusters because essentially these people would come together and fight against an alien meteorite that landed on Earth, and then the creatures started rapidly evolving.
Yeah.
And so they would get out of hand, and they would have to stop them from evolving and basically terraforming the Earth.
Yeah. Well, like...
They made a cartoon based on that.
They make cartoons based on everything, regardless if it was appropriate for kids or not.
Oh, 100%.
RoboCop?
Oh, yeah. RoboCop.
I'm surprised they never made a Species cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that movie, Species?
Yeah.
Where she's like, I'm an alien.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely coded because it's like, that's the same feeling that I'm getting from the new Predator series. The movie franchise is just becoming a little bit more Saturday morning cartoonish.
Oh, yeah.
Because let me get this straight. Like, a lot of people didn't like Predator Badlands.
I still haven't seen it.
It's really good. I really love that movie. It's so good. I really like what they did with it. They took a lot of liberties of taking the old alien world, Wayland Yutani Corporation, evil big corporation controlling the world, and then they put him in the world of the Predator, which hasn't kind of been a thing.
Well, and Predator forever has really been like, yeah, we like aliens, and aliens has been like, stay away from me a little bit.
Exactly. So they had their crossover movie. The guy who's doing it now is he's the one that made the movie Prey, which was a really good iteration of the Predator movies.
Was that the Hulu one? The animated one?
Yep.
That one was good.
No. That was Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers.
So the one before that was Prey, which was the same people who made the Killer of Killers and Badlands.
That's right.
And I do recommend you guys check it out.
Prey. That's when it's like the Native American woman, right?
Yes.
I want to see that one.
Yeah, and that the gimmick part of that movie was they filmed all the scenes both in English, but then they would shoot those scenes in their native language.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
There's that version of it too, which I think it did a really good job with that. Killer of Killers. A great anthology, kind of reminded me of what they did with Blue Eye Samurai.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Blue Eye Samurai.
If you haven't seen Blue Eye Samurai, it was one of those shows that came out in the late stages of the pandemic, and kind of happened, and then just kind of disappeared.
Season 2's coming.
It's been coming for a long time now.
Yeah, but animation takes a long time.
Yeah, I mean the first episode I watched, I was just like, ugh. At the same time, and then I started getting into it.
I love a good samurai revenge story.
Oh, it is, and they know about pacing and keeping things slow enough where you can actually enjoy the scene.
Oh, and the villain of that show is so good.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
He's like one of those actors that is very much I don't do crap movies or crap shows or anything like that. Yeah. He must have read the script and really loved it because he has such a great villain monologue in that.
Oh yeah. His monologue is great.
He is the perfect.
If you watch anything from that show, watch his monologue.
Yes. Kenneth Branagh, he was also Hercule Poirot in the latest iteration of Murder on the Orient Express. He directed and starred in the Hamlet live-action movie back in the 90s, which still, to this day, pretty much has a perfect score in terms of a movie.
Oh, has Common Side Effects been renewed for season 2?
It has, but like the season 1, they had a long production.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same people who made Scavenger's Reign.
Yes. 2 great shows.
Yeah, Scavenger's Reign is something that you really have to have a lot of patience to get into, but once you're into it, it's it won't let you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
but Common Side Effects is very much what if kind of slow pace, kind of action-y, whatever, kind of got turned into something that's very satirical King of the Hill. It really, even though King of the Hill didn't have any of the fingerprints on it except for Mike Judge.
Yes, Mike Judge.
Yep.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
Yeah. So, honestly, Common Side Effects is another really good show from the Adult Swim Animation Studios. I mean, I'm excited for what they're going to do for the second season because the trajectory of where it went and where it started was completely way all over the place. I really like what they did. It's cross-country journey across the heartland of America while he's just trying to peddle his mushrooms.
Yeah. Get the mushrooms.
That apparently just has magical effects that just cures everything all at once.
Panacea.
Yep. Yeah. But of course, the name says Common Side Effects, so
may include.
I'm pretty sure the side effects are going to be pretty prevalent moving forward for sure. Yeah. But anyways, here's some more music. You're listening to 101.5 MCAT Radio, KFGM. Here is Gorillaz playing a little bit of that Clint Eastwood for you guys.
Ooh, that's a good one.
All right, we'll let that play out. That's good. That was a good lead in. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the shooting over by Town Pump?
No,
Yeah.
not really. It's kind of already settled, and now it's just kind of like it's done.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, some bondsmen.
Yeah, they were chasing the guy who skipped bail.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was another shooting in my neck of the woods.
Yes, I heard about that.
I don't know what happened with that. They didn't do any kind of. I didn't really follow up with that. I don't know what was going on with that. Maybe KVGO has it.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, you saw John Nillis's bounce park.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it's called again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sent you the article, and yeah, it's the old women's club.
Yep.
Turned into an indoor bouncy house and everything. Well, bouncy house, kids center, blah blah blah.
Yeah. You can rent the bouncy houses too.
Yeah, it kind of what they did with the sports barn, the Valentine Center, which is across from Pacific Steel. They had bouncy houses, and they do indoor like birthday parties for kids. And I only know that because my niece had a birthday there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's some good aptitudes for that. I remember when they had the bouncy houses for the farmers market. Liability killed it.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was just too expensive to put on, even though it's just like, we just want to put it on and give it to the public to enjoy, have some fun. It was like, here comes the government.
Government.
Not the government.
My name's Gubman.
Yep. Oh, we could probably talk about some city council when we come back. Not too much is going on with city council information, but for the most part, let's see how much longer. Okay, we're still playing that song. Let's see. Yeah, during the public comment on Monday last week, somebody did talk about there was an accident on Reserve and 93 Brooks. There's that weird 2 right turn lane on red. Yeah, that's dangerous right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still unsure about how to use that red light to turn. It's ridiculous. Then let's see. I guess climate conservations and parks last Wednesday was probably the more prevalent one because we have a new Parks and Rec director. Yep. Marina Yoshika. Marina Yoshika. Yep. She's the new person, and she's taking over for Donna Glockler, who was there pretty much for 20 years.
Oh, did you hear that Tenzin doesn't work for the fairgrounds anymore? She got promoted.
Working for the fairgrounds has always kind of been like, what do you actually...
Yeah, event coordination and advertising.
Because the whole lead up is all to the big summer fair, and
there's some other things going on.
And
there.
Zoo Town
fact,
Fest.
I'm supposed to be headed there on March 31st.
Really?
Yeah, they've got a nonprofit expo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that for MCAT though? Okay, so MCAT's gonna host something there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Table. I'm gonna. It's the same day as the CPR training, so we're gonna figure that out.
Nice. Sorry, we're almost done here. All right. Nothing like a little Gorillaz to get you hard pumping for you guys as well. Some fun times happening. Let's talk about our Camp Expo that we just did last Saturday. You were part of that, handing out flyers for our summer camps and spring break camps.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about our camps and what we do for the community?
Sure. So we're offering 5 camps this year, 4 summer camps and 1 spring break camp. So our spring break camp is a bit of a taste of everything, We do movie making, we do animation. It's a lot of fun. Last year we made a Killer Leprechaun movie.
Nice.
Yes. Yes, we've got our movie making summer camp where we make a bunch of fun live action movies. Our animation summer camp where we really dig into stop motion animation and kids produce a lot of fun short films like that. Documentary camp where we take 2 field trips, one to Raptors of the Rockies so that kids can make a mini doc on a bird.
And Historic Museum at Fort Missoula. They're hosting us as well.
Yes, where kids make a mini doc on one of the exhibits there.
Yep, there's a lot of great exhibits there. You know, I'm on the board of the Historic Museum. I'm a Friends board member, and we try to promote, you know, people coming by, swinging by, checking out the Historic Museum, and understand the importance of preserving history for all of mankind in the future.
Absolutely.
You know, Missoula's Historic Museum at Fort Missoula isn't just about holding items about Missoula's history, but we've also pretty much predominantly most of the western Montana and parts of Montana history. We have slowly been decommissioning a lot of stuff that belong in Butte.
Oh, yeah.
So Butte is starting to get more of these kind of places in place to get all their stuff back to be presented to the public so people can enjoy history tidbits from way back when. And, you know, that's a definitely important part is we want to look back in our history so we don't repeat the mistakes of the past.
And then finally, for kids 13 and up, we have our horror movie camp.
Yes, horror movie camp.
Yes.
One of the best ones.
That one's always fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come together, we work on a big movie, and we present it. And, you know, last year we did Canadian Cannibals. The year before, we did just a bunch of different random scare, spooky shorts throughout there. Very much analog horror, as we call it.
Yes, it's big right now.
Yep. If you haven't gotten a chance to see those horror films VHS, that's a great example of bringing a bunch of different directors together to create all these types of movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and for Doc Camp last year, we of course made the fictional documentary of Dusty Sosa.
Dusty Sosa.
Yep. Scott's proud as Dusty.
I do like Dusty Sosa. I wrote it on my notes app, all of it, and just kind of wung
The
it.
kids were great.
Yeah, the kids did a good job. They knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was very much like, how do we make a documentary making fun of documentaries? By essentially saying one thing and then having the person who's being interviewed say the exact opposite, just to kind of lead into that. So I always like, there was kind of like storytelling. And, you know, not to mention it doesn't hurt to flex those journalistic muscles I did back in the day. I don't get to flex them as much as I used to, but it's definitely one of those things.
Maybe one day you'll work for the Pulp.
Maybe. We'll see. We have a new director for Parks and Rec. They spoke last Wednesday to the Climate Conservation and Parks. Director Marina Yoshika. She appeared before councils. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, they steward the trails and make sure people stay on the beaten path while also making sure people clean up after themselves. They want to do these trail ambassadors. They also have river ambassadors. They usually do that for a 5-month stint during the high peak tourism season here in Missoula, just to have an educational touch instead of having an enforcement kind of thing happen, to kind of free up the police department to do crimes and stuff. Not that trespassing isn't a crime, but, you know, when you're talking about public lands, you have to go quite off the beaten path just to get to those kind of areas as well. So
and you know, like, we've got such a great trail system here in town.
Yeah, and there's also designated trails too. So like there's a lot of opportunities of public lands for people to enjoy here in Missoula for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So another big part of this, and so far they have 50 ambassadors with some help from the Five Valley Land Trust to help steward this and keep this moving forward. You know, one of the things they like to do is like they put up obstacles and man-made trails as opposed to trails created by the Parks and Rec. And so this is going to be an interesting transition for the city of Missoula as they also start to incorporate PROST, which is the Parks and Trails and Recreation, how they're implementing that with the UDC, which otherwise known as the Unified Development Code.
Yes.
All right, so since we're talking a little bit about the city, they do local academies. So for people who want to learn more about what's going on within the city of Missoula and beyond, you know, they're talking about the fire department. In this particular clip that I have prepared for you guys, so without further ado, here's this.
So run auto and mutual aid mostly. So sometimes you may see another engine company from like Missoula Rural down in this area by South Street. Because our goal is, and we're kind of expanding that, is to send the most appropriate, closest unit to get to your emergency. Now, as we build Station 6, they won't have a need as much to come into the city, but their fire station's in the city, right? And so we don't want them driving by your emergency down the street when we're coming from a further away. So there are some of those overlap pieces, and so those relationships pieces work to our advantage.
And I have a question, because there's the fire station at South and Reserve.
Yes.
So that's in part of the rural then, because I'm not seeing it on.
Yes. So that is Rural Station 1.
Okay.
But we have an agreement for that area that's right around there. If we have a medical emergency or a first due fire, we still send our resources, but they will respond to citizen need, even if it's in the city right there. And much like we do the same thing, there are places up Miller Creek or different places where we can get there faster initially, and then we'll all round to that location. Yes, but that is not a city fire station. And there's some process of them potentially moving that station based on some growth stuff, but yeah. So operations divisions, we have really a lot of different divisions within that. So I think we're about 130 total members strong, about 107 or 108 in operations, the response component of that. So operations really is the response piece. And so we are there 24/7, 365. If you call, we come. And so we do a wide variety of things. Fire suppression. Wildland, obviously, is on our minds. It's certainly on my mind with the lack of moisture that we have. But we do the fire rescue. Medical accounts for a large portion of the responses that we go on to your emergency. Hazardous materials. And when I go back to rescue, I would say motor vehicle crashes are a high percentage of the calls that we go on.
All right, so there's a little taste of the Citizens Academy. That was the fire department talking about their services. And, the police department also talks about their emergency services, but this is the idea of how government works, how it works in tandem with the community. And it's just an overall great way for people to learn more about it. You can go to the cities Missoula. There's also engagemissoula.com for more information about this kind of stuff. Not to mention engagemissoula.com is all about the projects that are happening in Missoula. So if you see construction happening in sites, you can go to Engage Missoula, be like, oh, so this is what's happening on this thing. They're improving the infrastructure, especially off my beaten path where I live. Eaton Street is definitely being eaten up by construction.
Yeah.
Pun.
Yes. I'll tell you, Scott, I'm looking forward to this Friday, the 13th.
Ooh, Friday the 13th, second Friday of March.
Yeah. And we just had a Friday the 13th last month.
Yes, because February and March match.
Yes. The Roxy always shows a Friday the 13th movie. This year it's This time it's Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, where he's a hell worm, right?
Something like that. I do not watch the Friday the 13th. I think
it's the one where he's like a worm and he possesses people.
I actually finally watched the first one a couple years back.
Really?
So
you had never seen the first one?
I haven't seen too many of them, honestly. A lot of them are just kind of either on. I remember watching, of course, Manhattan. Jason Takes Manhattan. I watched a fourth one, which happens to be like some of the survivors from the previous movie appeared in this one, and they have some kind of psychic link to Jason. I don't get it.
Yes, the psychic camp.
Yeah, or something like that. And then there's somebody doing like a paintball in the forest, and then Jason's like, "Yeah, kill you.
Yeah,
I'm a killer. That's what I do." It's like, come on, dude. It's not a highbrow film. Get over it.
I don't know why, but the way you said "I'm a killer," it just made me think of JFK from Clone High. I'm a killer.
Yeah, well, it is definitely because of my uncertainty when I talk.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Honestly, if I grew up in Boston, I'd sound exactly like JFK. Because of all the ums and ahs I consistently do. And if you want to do your own ums and ahs on the radio, you can go to 101.5 kfgm.org for more information. Missoula, Bitterroot, Frenchtown, and beyond. You can go anywhere and listen to 101.5 KFGM by going onto the website 101.5 1015kfgm.org, where you can stream it live.
Yeah, I found a website where you could listen to almost any radio station on Earth.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's kind of like Soundgarden or something.
Which kind of makes sense because everything's kind of gone digital, but at the same time, the radio waves are one of those few, like, vestiges of, like, if society collapsed, radio can be reinstalled much easier than the digital apparatus that is the internet.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, the internet is all those data centers.
Yeah.
And now data centers are basically being controlled by AI.
Yeah, and sharks keep trying to eat the fiber optic cables at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Quit eating our internet, sharks.
Yeah, they must know something.
And that's why I use Surfshark VPN.
Surfshark VPN.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
And I also don't use it.
Yeah, God, those VPNs. Like,
I use a VPN,
I just
but I'll
remember.
never tell you which.
I just remember like the funniest thing that came out of the Russian Ukraine thing. It was the fact that Russia started to clamp down on their news media and everything like that, and even the internet. So everyone, like, VPN went up like 80%. It was like
Always does in
insane.
that situation.
Oh yeah, especially in those kind of situations for sure. Because I wouldn't even like I would guarantee that you probably should get a VPN for America at this point because. Who knows?
My VPN is Swedish.
Right? Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that kind of do the Spotify, which is kind of crazy because who knew that Sweden would be like one of the few protectors of free speech at this point?
Yeah. Wait, is mine Swedish?
I don't know.
It's one of the
But regardless of that,
countries.
We also have some more things happening. MCAT also did the winter storytelling at Traveler's Rest. This is featuring Bruce Bugby, and here is a little taste of that.
The people who had been here 13,000 years or so in this region, how they were impacted by the changes brought on in this sort of manifest destiny going across North America. An important story, and if we pay attention to that too, that also tells us about the sense of place that evolved over thousands of years in this place. And there's much to be learned from that. And I find that every time I kind of make a connection there, that's a wonderful insight and carries me forward, and I appreciate it. And I thank the many tribes that were part of this country, in particular Salish and Kootenai, Kalispel. And my pronunciation, I'm sorry, is not anywhere close to the authentic, but I've started on this book, which you've got in the bookstore here, and this is a marvelous book. Including how to pronounce the Salish, and with apologies, I haven't quite gotten there yet.
All right, so there's a little taste of winter storytelling at Traveler's Rest. Traveler's Rest is a organization based out of Lolo, Montana, just outside of Missoula. Ron goes out there every other Saturday to record these kind of talks, and this guy was also featured at the Rattlesnake Stories as well. Bruce Bugby. If you get a chance, you should take a little gander at this, and these are all available programs on our YouTube page, MCAT TV Missoula.
Hey Scott, is the Missoula Cemetery still doing Stories in Stones?
Yes, they do. They usually do it in the fall.
Okay.
So fall season's like their go-to one. They usually do it sometime in September. They just they ask for volunteers who want to learn about the history of people who are relevant here in the city of Missoula and who are buried here in the Missoula Cemetery.
Yeah.
And so they stand next to their grave, give them the whole history tidbit. Emma Dickinson is a very prolific user, as well as Mary Gleim. C.P. Higgins is another one of those big names that at one point the guy who portrayed C.P. Higgins got way too into the role to a point where a lot of his talks would be 20, 25 minutes long of him ranting and raving about how his rival, Bonner, known for the namesake of the town of Bonner, used political intrigue to essentially bribe people into opening a lumber mill in Bonner. So, Yeah, there's a lot of interesting tidbits there, and they're all available on MCAT's YouTube page. All you got to do is look up Stories in Stones.
Yeah, I was sitting on the couch with my wife the other day, and she was watching a documentary, and, she got to a part and she's like, oh, hey, this part is cool because there's a cemetery and people dress up in costumes and act like the characters. And I was like, we do that.
Yeah.
We do that in Missoula. And she was like, what?
Well, she didn't know about that until just this last week or two?
No, she this weekend is when she found out about Stories in Stones.
You've been working at MCAT since you were 18 years old, 8 years now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that...
It's kind of crazy that it never came up.
See, those are the nice things about, like, any kind of relationship. You just don't know
what you
don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's like you understand. Like, I always love those kind of things because it's always exciting to learn something new that you didn't know, which was so, like, commonplace in our own mind. It was like... Yeah. It kind of teaches us to be like, maybe we should be a little bit more patient with each other because not everyone knows what we're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that tends to be like a commonplace, like even here at the library. I do feel for a lot of the staff here at the library where half the time they get treated like Google.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, hey, they only know what they know.
Yeah.
They know how to do the services here. They know how to point you in the right direction. But a lot of times they can't help you with the really detailed stuff. Like I've been asked, like, just at the desk where the forms for the tax information was.
That a couple times.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I had to learn because I was never told that.
Where is the tax?
It's basically at that kiosk, right? What we stare at every day.
Okay, that's where I sent them. I was like, they probably know.
Yeah, it's all over. You know, like little pamphlets. You just pull it out. You have your, I think it's like a 198 or 199 or something like that.
The 1099 for freelance workers.
Exactly.
Contract workers.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's you still have a whole month before the old tax monster starts knocking on the door. I did free tax USA for mine. I just went to the IRS.gov and signed in and be like, here's some things if you make less than $80,000 a year. Spoiler: mostly people in Missoula make less than $80,000 a year. So yeah, we're good on that. And not endorsing it. It is just free tax.
I don't care who the government sends. I'm not paying taxes. That was Dan Versus.
Yes, Dan Versus. A show that I only see in clips, but never actually see it at all.
Yeah.
And it was the same guy who was he had. I think he played like Wart in the Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, okay. Really?
He has that really distinct voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to pay my taxes. Now, I sound like more like Louis Anderson at this point.
Then his friend in that show actually is a voice of a character in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, yes, that does make sense, though.
He plays Yes Man, who says yes to everything, and he's a robot.
Cool.
He's like, that's just dandy.
Well, not as good as like Matt Berry in season 1.
Oh, Matt Berry.
And he didn't come back for season 2 at all. I didn't hear him at all.
Yeah, there was no Mr. Handies in season 2.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about it at all. I mean, season 2 kind of like lost the plot as it kind of centralized on
Vegas.
On Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing against Vegas, but it didn't really feel like the same kind of fun and charm that you get from actually playing Vegas.
Well, and then, like that. Well, that's a lot of that's because it's like, they were like, no, we can't pick an ending because it'll make the fan base mad no matter what we pick.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
I mean, like, if they would have treated it more like an anthology where it's just like one person's goal rather than it's like they're just going to change the world of Fallout altogether. It's just like, why don't you just make a fun show where people are just having a good time? If you want to.
McLaughlin's great in it, though.
Who?
Kyle McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta out the ending for the Fallout season 2.
Spoilers.
Just so you know. Kyle MacLachlan played a very similar character in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC back when it was Joss Whedon's brother doing the show.
Right.
He was part of he was like a dad character of one of the main female characters of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But actually sinister.
But he's sinister.
Yeah. And
then at the end, instead of it was basically the same ending that they ended Fallout 2, where they just essentially erased his brain. And he's just like, you're just a normal guy now. You don't have the memories of somebody who's trying to destroy the world.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was like, wait a minute.
Well, and have you
it hasn't even been 10 years.
Have you seen his social media lately, Kyle MacLachlan's? Because he's been posting a bunch of like, oh, here I am on the set of Fallout Season 2. And he's just like dancing around.
Well, he's having fun.
Yeah.
It comes from the vein of like.
But then there's the guy who plays Thaddeus. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I definitely notice is that he kind of comes from that world of like Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
where it's like those kind of subject matter, but like behind the scenes of Twin Peaks and all that stuff, they like it seemed like they were really having a good time and everyone got along really well.
Well, and, you know, there's a great behind the scenes clip from I don't know which David Lynch movie it is.
Yes.
But he's talking to an actress and he's like, "You look like you wanna slap me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, slap me. Do it. If it'll help you feel better." Like, and he's being serious. He's like, "Slap me." And Kyle MacLachlan goes, "I'll do it."
Must have been the revival of Twin Peaks.
It might have been the revival of Twin Peaks.
Yeah. David Lynch, chain smoking. I mean,
I love listening to him talk about things. It is great.
I mean, honestly, the one thing that sold the Fablemans was David Lynch's cameo. I was like, I gotta see it now.
Yeah.
I
gotta see the Fablemans.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I watch it, because of David Lynch.
I like his, I don't really watch Family Guy, but I like his cameo in Family Guy.
Yes.
Where he voices himself and he crawls down a
Well,
tree
David Lynch
chimney.
has always kind of been a very meta director, so
Yeah.
he both appears in things, directs things, and do all sorts of crazy, kooky things.
He seemed more than happy to make fun of his own work, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, one of his latest movies that came out was a movie called Lucky, which was about one of his more recurring characters. He was an older guy who was in Alien movie, but he was like 98, 99 when he filmed and wrapped this movie up called Lucky.
Wow.
Yeah, it's basically got like one of those fringe towns up in Texas, and it's just like one of those, day in the life of.
Right.
I definitely recommend it. It's definitely one of those. It's not one of those movies where it's just like, whoa, explosions, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, here's some Neil lore for the listeners at home. David Lynch led to my marriage.
Really?
Yeah, well, because so it wasn't really a date, but Anya was gonna go see Eraserhead with a friend who had to cancel, and we had just worked on a short film recently together. So she was like, "Oh, Neil will probably like this. Let's see if he's available." And so we went and saw Eraserhead.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you also got to give props to the mother-in-law, just like, he's cute. Get him, basically. So yeah, there's some Neil lore right there for sure, you guys. Not too much. Little bits here and there. We don't want to give your social security number out. Anyways, here is the last song we're going to be playing for you guys. Another Gorillaz song, Humility.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Exactly. Something that we all need right now more than ever.
A little humility.
A little humility. Okay. All right, that does it. Thanks for listening.